Am I live? Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. How is it going? Am I live? Okay, so I'm live. I go live on StreamYard. I use StreamYard to go live. And so I'm live in 5 different places: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And Twitter. So I'm live. How are you guys doing today? Happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful week. In the United States, I live in the United States, so there was Thanksgiving and all that good stuff. So it is good to really see you and to be here with you. I am live, and if you want to be here live with me, you can. You can. You can come into my studio and chat with me. Get into the studio and chat with me. You are more than welcome to do that. So I'm so happy to be here with you today. And so my name is Aya. I am a mom advocate and a business coach. I'm really passionate about moms in general, moms in business. And why? Really, because I'm passionate about the next generation. I'm passionate about children. I'm passionate about, we're not annihilating ourselves. And that really starts within each family and each with children feeling protected, loved, cherished in families, and the people who are caring for children, moms and dads, are doing a good job caring for them. So they also need to be cared for. And specifically, I'm also a business coach. I help people get to consistent 5-figure months. It's not easy to know what to do, where to go, how to do it. You can. You just are like, well, what can I do? I need a map, a guideline, and how can I get there? And so I help service-based mompreneurs, get consistent 5-figure months, anywhere from 10K to 99,000 a month. Can you imagine being consistent every month and you're doing it in a smarter way and you're making a lot of money and you're not a slave to your business. Your business is not taking over your life. So excellent. The earlier we reach them, the better. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Erskine. Absolutely. So you're not like losing things. So you can be mommy, right? Because if you put all of your time in your business, it's like, when can you be mommy, right? And so that's what I do. I really specialize helping people juggle and make their money and juggle parenting with children under 12. So 12 and under, because children 12 and under, they're still very needy, in really physical ways. Like they still need a lot of help and support and stuff like that. I mean, of course, children and people always need help and support, but it's a little bit different, as you know. All right. So let's get into it today. So today we're talking about, why am I working so hard but making so little? Let's fix this now. So you might ask, like, what is your area of expertise? And I really have to say I'm a business generalist, in the sense of, I can help you get your business together from zero to hero. Basically, get it together, because guess what? It's not one thing. There is no one magic bullet. There's no one magic bullet. There is not a magic bullet. Okay. There's not one thing. If you do this one thing, then your business. No, it's just not. There's so many things that need to happen at the same time. And I think that's the thing. There's so many things that need to happen for this to really prosper. And so, um, even if you're helping someone fix one problem, you are still a business and you have to do different things in your business to be able to help people fix their one problem, right? So I like to call myself a business success generalist, because it's a few things that need to happen at the same time, that need to be built at the same time for your business to really be successful. And so that's kind of what I help people do, get that plan, their marketing, their selling, man, sales, KPI, numbers. Come on, we need to know what's going on. Retention, client retention, all those things, and content creation, how to work smarter, how to diversify your income streams. And so it's really important to know that, I'm not necessarily going to help you do your business in the sense of, like, let's say you're a hairstylist. Like, I'm not going to be teaching you how to do the hair, because you already know how to do your hair, or whatever you do, or you're a lawyer, or you're a doctor. It doesn't matter. You're a scientist. What matters is, how can you do these other things that every business needs to do to be successful, and still, spend time with your family and your kids. So that's also super important. So I hear this from my clients when they first start with me. Why am I working so hard but making so little? Sometimes it's, why am I working so hard and they're making a lot, but they're still working so hard and it's just a lot. So it could be, so this can go for different things. But specifically today, we're talking about why am I working so hard, but I'm making so little? And so I want to kind of go through some points about what could be happening for you that is giving you that experience. Now, one of the things that I see chronically in service-based businesses with particularly with mompreneurs, people starting out, is they just don't charge enough. You're just not charging enough. Like, man, you're not charging enough. You're not really thinking about how much of your life energy is going into providing this service, giving people what they need, providing this service, and then moving on to, do whatever. It's a lot, it is really a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to be doing all that and to be, and if you're underpriced, so if you start off chronically underpriced, it's just like, I don't know if you've seen those things where they talk about like a man and a woman and why pay inequity is so hazardous, because over time, your trajectory over time, you really feel it over time. It may not seem like a lot initially, but over time. And that same thing still applies in your service-based business. If you're not charging correctly for your work, you will feel it over time. So over time, you'll be like, oh my gosh, you'll be burnt out, you'll be exhausted. It's still your joy. You'll be working so much, you'll be taking on so many clients. And it's like, why do I need all these clients? You don't need 20 clients. You just need like 3 or 4, because you're not priced appropriately. So you're not priced appropriately. For you to be giving people that type of service. So there's a difference between service-based and product-based business. So products are, you create a product and you can sell them. And you can create like very fancy products, don't get me wrong. Now, here's the thing. If someone's creating like a very fancy watch, I mean, of course, there's watches that are like $100,000, but those people, that it's not a lot that they create, right? So they're not creating like $100,000 watches. Maybe they're creating, it's a limited edition and they just create 8 in a year, and they're just need to find 8 people who are going to pay them $100,000 for their watch, or so on and so forth. So it's when you're priced appropriately, or, you have a product, it's different. But if you have a product that you're making because you have put your time in, and then ends up as a product, that's still your time, your service. And so it is really important to consider what you're charging people. So you might be experiencing, why am I working so hard but making so little? Because you're not priced appropriately. You're not priced appropriately. You're not priced appropriately. You're not priced appropriately. Right? And people will say, well, what about the market? And what about this? You have to create your own market. The marketplace, the capitalistic marketplace is designed to make your prices go down. That's just a fact. It's designed to make your prices go down. Right? So it's like the dollar store. You go to the dollar store, but the stuff is not quality, but it's $1. Apparently now it's not even $1. So that's important to consider, because at the end of the day, that's really important to consider, because at the end of the day, um, you have to create your own market. You can't necessarily be looking at yourself out, and you have to be able to think about what you can provide, what you can give people, how you can help them, and really understand that, there's this conversation like, how to help people to the quickest, to the most, and people, like boom, boom, boom. It's not boom, boom, boom. And I think that's this idea of tactics. It's not boom, boom, boom. If everybody could do it, everybody would be doing it. So there's usually a lot that goes into why everyone is not doing it. And it's not always ignorance. It's sometimes a strategy, sometimes it's application, when, where, how, nuance. Sometimes it takes experience. Sometimes it takes this, sometimes it takes bravery, courage. Sometimes it just takes a lot of different things to like get to that place, right? So I want you to value that. I really want you to value that. There you go. If you can't go off market trends, what factors can you determine your price brace? Oh, that is such a great question. I love that question. I love that question. And so that's a complicated question, because, you want to, it depends on what your goal for your business is, right? It depends on what your goal for your business is and how you're initially structuring your business. Like how does your business make the most money? And I'll use a really big example, like Amazon. A lot of people think Amazon makes their money, the majority of their profits from, like their delivery, their store, like their store, like them buying, selling things. But it's not. They barely break even on that. You could listen to their quarterly earnings calls. They barely break even on what most people think of when they think of Amazon. But where do they make their money? AWS, Amazon Web Services. They make a large amount of money off of AWS, Amazon, and then and they have a lot of different businesses, and they make a lot of money off of like percentage splits, all those books that they make it very, very easy, but it's 30/70, their royalties, all kinds of things. A lot of people, Amazon sells happiness, right? Amazon gets me things to my door. And so it's important, but see, what people don't realize is if you don't really know how a business is making money, and if you don't know how you want your business to make money, like how are you going to make money, and how are you going to make it consistently month in and month out, and does that align with your life, like the goals that you want? So you can make money off of selling like e-commerce, but to make that type of money, to make a 6-7 figure months or whatever in e-commerce, you have to be moving a ton of content, a ton of product, either volume, or you have to do it with spread, right? With spread. So you had, and what, which, and every way you can make money in business is different, or sometimes franchises, the franchisee, they are not even in the business, but you bought something from them, and everything you sell, they're getting a percentage of that, so intellectual property royalties, earned income percentages, there are many, many ways to make money in business, and you have to really educate yourself on that. you you have to absolutely, you have to educate yourself on the different way, because a lot of people approach business the way that they were employees. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with that, because as we learn in life, we grow. So this is not a knock on employees. I was an employee for years. It's not a knock on anything, but being an employee is a very limited way to make money. For most employees, they're making money by trading their time. And so I give you this amount of time, and you have to pay me regardless of what I do for you in that time. Maybe I'm a great employee. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I did my work. Maybe I didn't. But listen, according to the law, I gave you 8 hours. You have to pay me. So that's how employees, they kind of do their thing, right? Now, some employees are very sophisticated. They do commissions, earnings, this, stock prices, this. I mean, some people, they get very sophisticated, and that's what's sad. But unfortunately, many people bring that a very basic mindset to business, to making money in business. But that's not the case. In business, it's like an infinite ways to be making money out here. And so for me, when I work with my clients, I really just be like, educate yourself. And you're so welcome. I appreciate you so much. Educate yourself in how you can be making money in your business, all the different ways to make money. Like, start to read about it, start to, just learn, just start to ask people, well, how do y'all make money off of that? If you're charging this, how are you making money? Like, well, and then you'll be surprised that they're telling you they're making money in a whole different way. Oh, well, I make money on the back end. Well, I make money on the side. You have to know. Right. And then you can really start to grow in your business, because then you won't just be working, thinking that, okay, this is the only way I can make money. No, no, no. And once you really recognize how you can make money, it's like, so then it's like, okay, well, which one do I want to do in my life? Which one do I want to do in my life? Okay. So which one do I want to do in my life? So that's important. That's important. That was a great question, Erskine. Oh my gosh, that was such a great question. And so for example, like coaching, people will like, so I coach, right? And to work with me one-on-one is $10,000 for 4 months. If you want to work with me one-on-one, it's $10,000 for 4 months. And I meet with you 2 to 3 times a week for an hour, and we kind of get into it. If you work with me in a group setting, if you don't mind, in my group coaching program, that's $7,500 for 3 months. You come in my group coaching program, and we work together, and you meet with us like 3 to 4 times a week, and X, Y, and Z. And I have a really specific ethos in my coaching program. My coaching program is once a week is not enough. it's not enough. People need more help, especially in the beginning. Now, why do I price it like that? I have to think about my future, my life, what I need, my bandwidth. I have to think about my bandwidth. But coaching, and when I coach because I love coaching. I don't coach necessarily to make a ton of money, but I coach because I love coaching. And where else can I make money? So, okay, I can write. I'm a writer, so I write a ton. Okay, I can make money off of making content. I make money off of speaking. I make money off of royalties and, different things like that. So once you start to really understand how you can make money, you're not limited to just doing one thing. You're not just limited to doing one thing in one way, and you have to say, okay, what's my most lucrative thing? So once you decide what is it's much more lucrative for me to speak in corporate settings than it is in like individual settings, right? Like if a group invites me, they're like, oh, can you speak to us about sales or whatever? Okay, that's cool, but it's much more lucrative. I make more money selling, speaking in a corporate setting than I do because they may not have the budget for my speaker fee. So these are different things you just have to see. So sometimes you might be doing the right thing, but you're doing it to the wrong audience. Sometimes all I gotta do is switch up your audience. You switch your audience up and then it's like, boom, or you switch this up and it's like, boom. And so it's really important to widen your mind when it comes to why I'm working so hard, but making so little. And I think that is really that's really it. That was such a great question. I mean, that's kind of a mic drop. There's not really much after that. But really I'm all about full work ethic, and you should work. But one of the things I like to tell people is make sure that when you're working, it's not just one and done. So, okay, I did that and that has no more, that there's no way that can make me money after that. Try to start to find ways how you can make money and it can still be making you money. So if you, for example, like I'm a writer, you should write. If I'm writing something, it's like, how can I repurpose this? Where can I write this? Where can this take me? How can this build my portfolio? How can this help someone? How can this serve? And how can I, it's different things like that. That's one of the reasons why, like StreamYard, like even going live right now, I could just go live on one platform, but why? So I invested, I think StreamYard, what is $50 a month? I invested $50 a month so I can go live on 4 or 5 different platforms at one time. They can record the video. I can use this video and splice up different things. I can make more videos. I can send this. I can do what's it called? A transcription. It's just you have to start thinking about it that way. You cannot just you cannot just work a little bit. You have to be maximizing your work. And that takes a lot of that is knowledge, some like exposure and knowledge. So a lot of that is exposure and knowledge, just being around people and hearing them, like when they talk about how they're doing, asking questions like, well, how do you make money? Just sometimes it should be asking like real to the point questions. Well, how do you make money? Like, how is that profitable? Like, how do you keep up with this? Well, how do you keep up with this? Well, how do you, so for example, like some people, they're going to make their money off of volume. Volume is what makes them money. So they sell a lot. Some people it's selection. Like, how does Mercedes-Benz make their money? Some people it's high prices. Like, what is your money making way to go? But another thing, so the other thing I want to talk about is Erskine, totally makes sense. The way you put your money work for you. Exactly. Yes, exactly. So I love that. Thank you for saying that. It's like investing. Everyone understands the concept of investing in the sense of like, I'm going to put in $1,000 and hopefully get a 5, 10, 15, 20% return, maybe 30%, right? So that means if I put in $100 and I got 20% return, I'm gonna get back $120, right? And that's a high return. 20% is high, like that, that's high, right? And in different areas, you put time in X, Y, and Z. You have to start seeing your business like that. What I can put something in, but I know I'm gonna get way more out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get way more out. You have to start seeing, and if you're putting in, and you're not getting what you need out, it might just be, like I said, just like it takes a few things to be successful in business. Sometimes it's a few things that just needs to be turned around, right? Which just needs to be turned around. And that's why you always want to be learning when you're in business. So now this leads me to my other point I want to talk about today, which is just mindset. mindset. So sometimes it's like you have to have an abundance mindset. Think about what you're talking about. Think about your words. Think about what you're serving, what your product is, what your service is. Think about all of these things, and really just understand that it all starts in your mind, right? And if you see that you have a small mind, or you see things myopically, or you don't see things in a big light, or you see the negative, or it's hard for you, that's okay. I'm here to tell you that that's okay. What I want to tell you though is from today, right now, together, let's do it together. From today, right now, let's work on building our minds, increasing our minds, expanding our minds, having an abundance mindset. And so sometimes that's it. It's like if you start you something and then you're already like kind of saying it's not gonna work or something, that's already difficult. So I'm saying this, but it's not going to work. Or, so it starts in your mind. Start thinking about what it would be like to be successful, to get what you want from your business, to have your business serve you and work for you. What would that look like? What would that feel like? What would that be? You know, who would your clients be? Where would you going? Where would you go? What would you talk about? What would your bank accounts look like? How would the sales process be? There's a lot of things in the nitty gritty that you have to stay focused on, but you always want to keep your mind big, right? And to keep your mind big, you talk to big-minded people too. So you surround yourself with people who have big minds, who inspire you. You surround yourself around not necessarily people who are like, because I think there's people who they're doing big things, but they don't actually inspire you. They make you feel anxious. They make you feel jealous. Or I shouldn't say they make you. So I'm sorry, that's not the right word. But in their presence, you feel anxious. In their presence, you feel jealous. And you don't actually feel like light in that presence. So that doesn't work for you. Pay attention to how you feel in people's presence. Pay attention to how you feel when you're listening to someone or listening to something. They might have excellent information, but if you're not feeling good about yourself and you're listening to someone, that information is not going to help you. It doesn't matter how good the information is. If you are feeling less than as you're listening, and you're not feeling like, okay, I can do this, let's move up, man, cut that information out your life for real. Cut that information out your life. Mind expansion is not a journey you can take on alone, right? You have to surround yourself with like minds. Absolutely. 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 So I'm glad you said you know what I mean. So those are the two things I want to leave you with. What Erskine said, that's so important. It's your mind. It's a mind thing. Like your mind is a garden. And have you seen gardens? Like you should really watch gardens, like shows about gardening. Because when you see what they're working with when they first start, it's like, whoo, it's like, oh my goodness. But you see how with time and effort and how they can turn it into something beautiful. And also how it's like you keep having to work on it, and you can have all different kinds of gardens. So that's really important. That's really important. So that's one thing I want to tell you. And the other thing I want to tell you is make sure when you're with people, it feels good. You feel like you can do it. If you don't feel like you can do it when you leave someone's presence, that person is not for you. That situation is not for you. That's not for you. It doesn't mean that people should be like placating you. That's not what I'm talking about. You could be watching a video. If you watch a video and you get off watching that video and you feel like, man, I can do this. You feel inspired. You feel you can do this. I can do this. That's good. That's for you. That's for you. It doesn't matter who you listen. Like if you have that feeling, you hear something, you feel inspired. You watching something, you feel inspired. You feel like I can do this. You feel closer to yourself. You feel closer to you feel that. That's for you. But if you're watching something and they could be giving you bomb information, like really, I'm telling you, but you feel like little, you feel small. You feel small. You feel small. Man, no, get away from them. Get away from that. Get away from that. It doesn't matter how good the information is it makes you feel small. Like, I don't listen to anyone that is like beating me up while they're giving me information. Like, I don't listen to anyone. You're so welcome. I don't listen to anyone that if you're giving me information, you're beating me up while you're giving it to me, man, you're out, you're cut off, you're cut off, you're cut off, you're cut off. Because no one needs to be be beaten down when they're trying to build up, right? The world will beat you down. Like, you don't even have to go anywhere to get beat down. So if you're going to consume content and you're going to consume things and be around people and let people into your space, man, and let people into your space, you have to you have to feel like they building you up. They're doing something like you were like, man, yes, I can. Okay. If you're not feeling that, So thank you so much. I can feel your passion, which is absolutely, yes, I'm passionate about um, their business working for them. That's really like to boil it down, because in life we have to earn income, right? You have to have money to live, right? Or some type of currency, what it was, pound sterling, US dollar, the yen, the peso, the naira, whatever. Like, you have to have some currency, assets, liquid currency assets, your house, all these things. So earning a living and having money and providing for yourself and your family, that's a big portion of life. Huge portion of life, because to even just experience life, someone's got to pay for it. So because it's such a big portion of life, I don't want people to feel like a slave to it. It can still work for you. You don't have to be a slave to it. It can still work for you, right? Because it's your life. And so and there's just different ways that you can make that work. Yes, isn't that the main ingredient in business? You have to have that passion. You have to have that passion for sure, because you have to be able to stick through it when things change. So you have to have that passion for sure, because things will change, or things will not go your way, or just, and that's just a part of it. It doesn't mean that's the whole story. It's just, maybe you're like, oh, I thought I was going to make 200,000, but you made 175. It could be anything. So you have to have that passion to keep moving forward. But I've really enjoyed being here with you. I'm live every day, Monday through Friday. I go live. And why do I go live? I go live to have interactions with Erskine. I go live like that. On Thursday, I'm doing an audio event, which is kind of different. And I'm doing an audio event. I'm about to release it. You should come. But yeah, if you want to work with me, if you want to coach with me, let me know. Coach with me. DM me. Like, let's work together to build your business where you need to go. And then also, I think that why do I go live? So because I do believe in helping people, and I am a content marketer. So I believe in content creation for marketing. I really do. I really believe in content creation for marketing. And I believe that when I share myself, if someone wants to work with me, they already have a good sense of me. And if they need to work with me, then it's there. So much of it's already answered for them. So that's why I really love content marketing. But so I love you. I'll be here tomorrow, and I love you, and I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you, Erskine, for rocking with me on LinkedIn. I appreciate you so much. You don't even know. I appreciate you rocking with me. You guys have a great day. God loves you, and I love you more. No, I love you, and God loves you more. Bye.